It was almost an admission of the fact that their craftsmanship is going down. So the title reads, Chanel CEO says price hikes driven by inflation, craftsmanship. The luxury goods maker is seeking pricing harmonization across the globe and adjust prices in different markets to ensure that the company is fair to all our clients everywhere, CEO Leena Nair said. Interesting. So Chanel's chief executive officer defended the luxury brand's pricing after it raised the cost of one of its best-known handbags to more than 10,000 euros. The fashion label, known for its haute couture designs and fragrances, takes account of inflation and its high standards for materials and craftsmanship in setting prices, CEO Leena Nair told Bloomberg's Francine Lacqua in a Leaders with Lacqua interview. We're just going to pause there. It is so well documented online how bad the quality of Chanel bags have gone down. It's
also very well
so well
online.
documented.
It's so well documented online how rapidly they've increased their prices.
Yeah,
like it's not been gradual at all.
Like, how did this CEO just say that? Like, what did she say? It takes into account its high standards for materials and craftsmanship in setting prices. Where? We use exquisite raw materials and our production is very rigorous, laborious, handmade. So we raise our prices according to the inflation that we see, Nair said. Luxury brands like Chanel have made headlines in recent years for pushing up prices of their often coveted goods. A classic medium-sized Chanel flat bag, for instance, rose above the 10,000 euro threshold for the first time in Paris last month. Chanel tends to cater to the most affluent customers, on par with those of Hermes or watchmaker Rolex, whose spending power typically remains resilient in the face of slowing economic growth or geopolitical turmoil. Nair said the brand, founded more than a century ago by Coco Chanel, pursues sensible and modest growth, as it focuses on preserving the quality of its products over the long term. What world is the CEO living in? Since when did Chanel preserve the quality of its products over the long term? Like, what? These
What's annoying as
CEOs
well
just be
is that the
these,
brands they compared
these CEOs, man.
the brands they compared to Chanel to are both brands that are widely known to have like maintained high quality more or less.
Right.
And it's like
Right.
a Rolex, Hermes. The Hermes is, but it's still pretty high quality like that at the end of the day.
Like, what? I think I know who the CEO is, by the way, because isn't this the CEO that came from one of those pharmaceutical companies like Unilever or something like that?
I'm not even sure. I'm not tapped in.
Because I remember
That
when
would
she
make sense.
became.
That would make sense.
I remember when she became the CEO of Chanel. I think she's from Unilever, like a company like that. But yeah, I don't know what world she's living in where Chanel has always preserved the quality of its products over a long time. I don't know what planet she's living in. Anyway, we continue. An approach that's made easier by its status as a privately held company. Nair, the former head of human resources, at Unilever PLC, became Chanel CEO in January 2022. So there's my answer. She reiterated that the company has no plans to hold an initial public offering. Chanel is owned by the billionaire brothers Alain and Gerard Wertheimer, whose fortunes are estimated at 50 billion each. It's an interesting story of how they gained control of the brand, by the way, but that's a story for another day. According to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, founded in Paris, but headquartered in London since 2018, Chanel reports its financial performance once a year, generally around late May. Revenue rose 17% to $17.2 billion in 2022. The luxury goods maker behind the Chanel No. 5 fragrance seeks pricing harmonization across the globe and sometimes adjusts prices in different markets to ensure that, Nair said. Our clients shouldn't experience excess price differentials, no matter where they buy. We want to stay fair to all our clients everywhere, she said. So, Micah, based on that article, what are your thoughts?
Bro, I've literally in the chat, I've just linked to Sotheby's graph for the price hikes. And you can literally see from 2020 onwards, these lot just started sending the prices upwards. And like, yeah, they're just yapping in that interview anyway. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
At all. Especially with how I think they would have so much more of a leg to stand on if it wasn't so heavily documented that
Hmm.
the quality hasn't been maintained by any means.
Mm.
Like,
I just don't know what
yeah.
planet she's living. Like everyone talks about how the quality has got. Like everyone, everywhere. You see so many bag YouTubers that I watch. Like, yeah, Chanel quality is definitely not what it once was. These are people that they buy and wear bags and test bags for a living. Like, what world is the CEO just like living? I don't even know what she's talking about. I don't understand. Totally. Golden says not just price hikes and craftsmanship, but the fact that they are so outed for marketing to the middle slash upper class looking for a bourgeois signpost is surely making people more self-conscious about this kind of purchasing. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Because Micah, what do you think about all these brands deliberately sort of targeting this higher
Well, it's
clientele?
because
Kind
at
of
the end of the day, those are the people
BOF
who are
alluded
going to
to
be
it,
able to
right?
afford
Yeah.
stuff through the recession. And as in, like, brands have openly said it to me that, like, oh, that's who they're targeting now. The because the top 5% of their in terms of wealth, the top 5% of their consumers make up
Hmm.
like 50, 60, 70% of a lot of these brands' revenue. So they're like, well, why should we care about you lot when you lot are about to not have money? And this
Mm,
5% can feed us essentially. So like
mm.
lots of brands are actively working towards marketing things to that group of people, which is why you'll find a lot of brands are going to be like seriously upping their prices over the next like 2, 3 years when it comes to things like bags, leather goods, stuff like that.
Yeah. This is facts, though. At this point, they're just gaslighting us. They are, though. It's actually insane. The gaslighting is crazy.
No, it just feels it's a game of when will the bubble pop. That's what I think.
Mm,
Like things will keep going up and up and up and up, and then I guess eventually they gotta come down. I would hope.
because there'll be no market left.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they want, like, I don't know, like someone who's a billionaire to buy their stuff and only billionaires
What
or
I do
something
think is
insane like that.
interesting though, that someone should make a video on, is I guess if they keep putting it up like this, perhaps luxury will eventually reflect class again.
Mm,
Because if you literally have to be a multimillionaire to own these items, like affordably, then maybe we'll shift into a place where suddenly these brands are again for the upper class in society and blah blah blah. And I think that's interesting.
But don't you think people just buy reps though? Because at the end of the day, like the best fakes of a lot of these things are made in the same factory, so technically are not even fake. They're
Yeah,
just
I
made
think
in the same
yeah.
factories, and then people put them to the side, or like things that have small defects, and then people sell them on the black market for like really cheap prices. So I don't know. I think it will just open because some people. This aspiration thing, I think people chase it so much that people would want to wear it regardless, and fakes will just become really big. I think.
Potentially. I mean, I think it depends on the item and how this goes about taking place. Because obviously, once they start tapping more and more into this 5% market, and they start making more and more goods for them, they can start caring a bit more about quality, introducing more things that are harder to replicate when it comes to
Hmm.
fakes. So I'm thinking about like that leather LV bag that LV put out. At the end of the day, I don't think there's going to be any fakes of that anytime soon, just because it's like so high quality and like such expensive materials.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, the bag's like 10 racks. So you know what I mean? I think a lot of these brands will maybe start to introduce more expensive parts of the production process just so that replications can't be done as easily.
But why can't they do that now? Why do they have to wait till it costs 50K before they can,
Because why would they
make
do that now when we're buying it already anyway? And they're making all their money.
It's like literally kind of like what the nectarine man is saying, the nectarine man is saying, £10,000 plus for a bag has degrading quality standards is
Yeah,
shocking
fuck. Wait,
because
did
it
that link
is.
I sent did it send or should I text it to you?
No, I don't think it sent text it to
Oh,
me.
I'll text it to you, bro. It's bonkers, bro. Is then a Chanel flap is so expensive now.
At the same time, I gawk at many young YouTubers with all these useless, garish, tiny bags who clearly cannot afford them, making purchasing this their content. It's a Barbie world. Yeah, I
So
don't. I think it's a different kind of content. It's definitely not my kind of content. One, because I'm not rich and I can't afford to just be buying things at will. And secondly, I don't like promoting over consumerism. That's why I don't talk about the clothes I buy for the most part on my channel, or like things that I
I still don't
wear
think that provokes over
on my
consumerism. To be honest,
channel.
but I hear it.
I know you don't. I know you don't. But like, I just don't. I just feel like I don't want to always be like, oh my god, buy this because I bought it. Wear this. It's just like, dress how you want to dress and be interested in your stuff. Conceptually, I find the concept of having content that's all about I bought this, I bought this, I bought this. Every video is like insane.
No,
Like the
I hear that. No, I hear
overconsumption
that.
and
I hear that. I hear that.
overconsumerism is like wild. It's quite crazy.
No, I do hear that.
And yes, as well, most of them are just buying, returning, and using Klarna and overdrafts sometimes.
So
Said sold. Very few are keeping these bags. Yeah, that's what influencers do. But see what I mean? Like that said to me sends the wrong message. Like I wear the same clothes all the time because I genuinely, one, I don't have that many clothes, and the reason I don't have that many clothes is because I buy clothes that I like and then I wear it. This whole idea of like, influencers like on Instagram, for example, they have a new fit every day. Obviously they can't afford to do that, so they're buying stuff and returning stuff, and it doesn't even send the right message. Personally, I just think it just doesn't send the right message. You're almost like promoting that people need to wear a different outfit every time they're seen and like all this stuff, when that's not even their reality. Their reality is they probably wear the same thing all the time apart from when they make content, so it's not even true to them. It's not genuine. That's why that kind of content has always been a bit odd to me. That's why I also haven't made that kind of content. It's just a bit.
well, and I think as well for the ones that can afford it, at the end of the day, it's their job. So you're aspiring to someone who's doing something that it's their job. That's like me being jealous of this guy who has loads of tech, but it's because he works at Google. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's his job at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it depends. If it's like genuine, then yes. Like if you're rich or that's your job and like you genuinely buy that many clothes and wear them, that's different to, where what people do now, where it's like they don't actually wear these clothes. Some of them, they buy clothes just for Instagram. These are not clothes they'll literally wear on the street. I find that insane and really inauthentic. Like everything in my wardrobe, I wear all the time. There's nothing in my wardrobe that like is just for when I take Instagram pictures. So I just find that concept of buying clothes really odd. I wonder which countries are making these conglomerates most of the money. China, Japan, and the USA for the most part. If we're talking about countries, those are like 2, 3 massive markets for most brands.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about Louis Vuitton, I think China just overtook Japan. But for the longest, Japan was the most important market for LV.
Now they're pushing China heavy.
They increased 8% this year. Wow.
Now they retail for more than 10 racks.
And the mini
And bro, they're so small.
flaps.
These ones are
The
like
mini flaps sell for 5.2K.
they're literally this rack. Like
Holy
this
moly. Holy smokes. I heard from someone, if someone has a Chanel bag, please let me know. This is one where I don't know, so you guys have to tell me. But I heard from someone that apparently they used to use actual gold.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true.
With
No,
the
this what you're about to say
hardware,
is true.
and now it's like gold plated, right? I heard that from
That's
someone
100% true. That's 100% true.
yeah. Which is like, so their craftsmanship, where how are you going to use gold when it's cheaper and plate it with gold when it's twice the price? Like, where's the maths in that?
If you scroll down, they pull up the like a graph. Look at that. So once we hit like 2020,
so it was literally kind of flat, and then like here, like 2020, they're like, whoop.
Yeah, they just said nah.
It's just like nah, double it, double it. Inflation and craftsmanship, double it.
Double it and pass it on to the next person. So what you're telling me? Someone could have bought a bag in 2018 for like 6 racks, and then what? 6 years later, if I want one, I have to pay 11K.
But that's the same thing because Micah, remember when I had that Prada bucket hat? I was telling people that I got it for £250. Do you know what it retails for now?
The nylon one.
Yeah. Do you know what the retail is now?
Oh, how much is it now?
600 for the same thing.
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, that's disgusting.
Like where?
Who's
Like
buying it
how?
that price?
How did we get there?
Oh, that's mental.
Like, bro, let me just show you retail on this thing. Like, these people are bugging. Let me put this on the screen. Like, these brands have lost their marbles. Lost the plot, mate. Look at the retail for the Prada bucket hats now. Just look at, let me go on Prada's website actually. Just to prove my point.
Ooh, 550.
Like, how do we go from 250 to 520? How?
In less than 6 years, or about 6 years.
And worst case scenario, the lining is probably worse.
Facts. Yeah, that's mental. That's mental.
Wait, the metal on Chanel bags are not gold plated anymore. Now it's brass. Oh my day. Oh my god. It just gets worse and worse. Prada successfully gentrified the bucket hat.
They're coming into our country and taking our Prada bucket hats.
They come into our country, take our Prada bucket hats. They take our Prada, take our brands, take our hats. Know what I mean, mate? Like it's not on.
Even I was on the LV website the other day. There was some keychain I like.
Yeah.
Bro, why was this keychain £750? I just say, yeah, nah.
I just think at this point, all I can do is laugh because it's just so ridiculous.
Hey, let me see if I can find it. I was actually like genuinely baffled. And the thing is, it's so hard. But oh yeah, I'll send you the link. Bro, I saw the price. I thought, oh, peak.
Back in the day, we had real good Chanel flaps. Bloody ethnics changing everything.
Facts though.
Oh, the real gold Chanel flaps. Bloody ethnics, always changing it. The bloody ethnics, they come here, now the prices have tripled, mate. Know what I mean? If they never came, it'll be cheaper.
I think it's canvas. Is it even leather? You know what? I don't know if it's even leather.
No, bro, I always tell people that the quality is just in a dustbin with a lot of these brands, but they are really taking a piss with I wouldn't even be as mad if they kept the quality the same, but just increased the prices. But simultaneously using cheaper things and increasing the prices at fast rates is what just makes it so shocking.
Yeah, bro. Facts. No, it's been really fast. It's been really, really fast. That's why I was saying that thing of I wonder if the bubble just pops at some point. Obviously, we're a long way away from that point, but because what happens when we pull up the Prada website and a bucket hat's 1.1K? You know what I mean?
On a certain level, I appreciate these price hikes making it clear what they think of their consumers. That's a good point, to be fair. We have to stop them before they charge us €800 for plastic. I think that some brands already do that, to be fair. Yeah, it's crazy how much they can get away with charging this much money for such high quality items. It's actually insane. Yeah.
Bro, pull up
it's
this
wild.
LV link I sent you. I want these lot to see how expensive the swag is these days.
Okay, that's the pouch. £710.
Yeah, bro, it's actually quite bonkers. And look how small it is.
Micah, do you want me to tell you how they made this? Do you want me to tell you? do you want me to tell you how they made this charm that they're charging you £710? So basically, how they make this,
some of it is canvas. I read it. It's not even all leather.
Yeah. So how they make this is when they make their canvas monogram bags, when they do the cutouts, there's scrap fabric left, right? So then they take that scrap fabric and use that hint of fabric to make this charm, and then they charge you £710.
It's actually a joke.
For this charm. I promise you they're using the scrap fab. I promise you. from the
It's
canvas
actually a
bag. I
joke.
promise
And
you.
bro, look at the product details. These man said, introducing the LV turtle pouch, a fun functional accessory made from monogram canvas, colorful leather, and a silver tone snap hook. So it's not silver, silver tone. It's probably like
It's not
some
even
other
real
metal that looks.
silver.
Bro, it's
Ah,
not even real silver, bro. It's not even real silver.
silver color hardware. Oh my
Bro,
god.
peak, bro. Peak, bro.
Oh my god. These brands
Peak,
so
bro.
annoying. Silver colored hardware. They've already saved all the money by using scrap fabric anyway. Just use real silver. Like, what is wrong with these people? It's just not that hard. Just use actual real silver.
Bro, peak, bro. Even
Redley said sustainability is expensive. No, not using real silver is crazy. That's
no, but all
actually
that
insane.
all that jewelry isn't silver either. All the jewelry they sell is not real silver. It's silver
That's
colored
kind of
hardware, or
what
like
similar to like Phoebe Philo with her gold plated stuff.
yeah, but at least it's plated and something. These lot
And
didn't
y'all
even
give
plate it.
Coach a hard time. Looks like it's all the same thing. Yeah, it's definitely all the same thing at this point.
Yeah, facts, facts.
It's definitely all the same thing at this
Someone
point.
said Hermes would have their own turtle farm.
Hermes would have their own turtle farm.
That's actually quite funny.
Wait, the
But yeah,
Schiaparelli jewelry is all brass. So let's go on the Schiaparelli shop.
yeah. To be honest, can you even buy anything on the site? You know what?
Schiaparelli.
I never go on their site.
Yeah, I've never
I just
gone on the
assume you
Schiaparelli
can't
website.
buy. I just assume you can't buy things. I don't know
First
why.
time for everything. Shop. Okay, jewelry. Let's have a look at the jewelry collection. Okay. Oh, this is expensive. 3,000 euros. Oof. This is 4,000 euros. So let's see. Gilded brass and resin. That's a shame. But that's so not true. Like, it's supposed to be gold. It's Schiaparelli. It's literally supposed to be gold. The corner cutting is crazy for me.
Oh, it's 4 racks. It's not 3 racks. It's 4 racks.
But what I don't understand, like, obviously I understand that people care about brands and stuff, but every time I see stuff like this, I'm like, so if you tell me, if I go to Hatton Garden and I go to a jewelry designer and I'm like,
Bro, they're making it cheaper than this.
I'm like, I have this design that I want to try and like make a sample for in Hatton Garden in London. Can you use pure gold? It's still going to be cheaper. Like,
No,
how
that's
do
why,
we get there?
you know who? What's her name again? Vineda Carter, bro. She must be balling because all her jewelry that she sells is like damn expensive, and
Yeah.
I know how much it costs to make what she's selling. So I'm like, fair enough. The game's really the game. Like people will pay for anything these days.
The game is the game.
Like not really and truly.
That's a damn shame. Brass is half the weight of gold. I remember when I saw my first vegan leather bag, which can be lovely, but generally speaking, was merchandising cheap plus fine.
Yeah, and it still
Yeah,
is to this day.
yeah. To this day, most like there's vegan, obviously, because it's such a vague term. You can get vegan, which is like cactus leather, pineapple leather, or mushroom leather, which is interesting, but there's not enough because these leathers haven't been used for a really extensive amount of time. We don't really know like how durable they are long term compared to actual leather. But those are still really good types of leather, and then you have the plastic where it's still vegan leather. That's just marketing and greenwashing, to be fair. Oh, Leah says check out the ready to wear. Uh-oh. Let's see fall winter.
You know what though? These lot have done a terrible job of making it clear that their brand is accessible. Because in my head, I didn't even know you could buy Schiaparelli, and I'd never gone on their website because I just didn't think it was possible.
So like, I don't want to be that guy, but like at certain price points, like if I'm going to spend 6,400,
Go Savile Row. Go straight
I'm
to Savile
going to
Row.
Savile Row. Like I'm
Oswald
not
Boateng will do
buying.
your suit for you himself,
I'm
bro.
not buying a blazer off the rack for 6,500 euros. I'm going to Savile Row immediately if I have that money to spend on a blazer. Like, and it's going to be bespoke by some of the best tailors on this earth. Like,
Yeah, on this
what are
planet.
we doing? Like, what are we actually doing? Like, and the worst part about it, let me see what the fabric is. This might send me 100% viscose. I'm out, bro. I'm actually out. I don't even think on Savile Row you can pick viscose as a fabric because it's just not high
Yeah,
enough to
so.
the level of any Savile Row. Like, I'm not even
Or
joking. Let me
is
see if I
everything
can go on
wool?
like walls, cottons, and it'll be like
Yeah.
mad walls. Like what I remember seeing last time I went to Savile Row, there was this like fabric
What were you doing
where
on
if you
Summer
made
Road? Man was dropping bread, huh?
no, I just wanted to see. I was just curious, talking to the tailors and stuff, like learning about tailoring. But basically, um, I went to like Anderson and Shepherd, right? And they have this fabric. I can't remember what it's called, but it's made by it's fur. It's made by wool from these like sheep that are so rare that if you were to make a suit with this specific wool, it costs like I think £100,000.
Oh, solid.
Like that's the kind of stuff that they're using, and it's just like, yeah, the ready to wear is actually insane. Like, why the hell would I buy a blazer under any circumstance for 6,500 euros off the rack? You have got to be joking. So Savile Row doesn't cost 6,500, but on the lower end it does. No, it's more expensive. Well, it depends. If you there's a
Bro, for
difference
just a
between made
jacket,
to
bro. I thought just a jacket.
no, it
6 racks.
depends. So made to measure is different to bespoke. So made to measure is they take your measurement and then based on your measurements they make like a blazer. Bespoke is they literally make like a whole like toile and like they make like a sample of your shape and then you keep coming for appointments and they keep adjusting it to your shape until it's perfect. That's like bespoke. That's like the best of the best. But they're two different price points, right? So if you were to get like a made to measure blazer, yes, it would be maybe 3,000, 4,000, depending
Yeah,
where
that's
you
what I was
go.
thinking.
But if it's bespoke, yeah, you're talking about starting at like 6,000 and above. But yeah, just the idea of buying something off the rack for that amount of money is just insane to me. It's like, wow. Especially if it's 100% viscose, like give me a break. This new era of fashion is really fascinating. Their boots, these boots, I actually like these boots by the way, but 4,500 euros, I'll pass. Especially because I know that's not real gold. What's it made out of? Go on, let's
Let's see,
see.
let's
Let's
see.
see. What does it make it
Gold
out of?
PVC. What, is in plastic? No, they're mocking it. Oh, they're mocking it. It's plastic. It's
he
plastic.
said he said they're mocking it.
Oh,
It
bro,
should be real gold because there are so
it's
many pairs
plastic.
of shoes that use like actual metal in the toe area and you just make the inside like a normal shoe so it's comfortable to wear. Like shout out to the customers that buy this stuff. Like if you can afford it, shout out to you guys. If I was
Bro,
rich, I
in
would
design
not
and
be
technology
buying.
classes at school, I used PVC. I could make these at school.
I mean, I like what Daniel Roseberry does on the runway aesthetically, but these prices don't make sense for what they're selling, to be fair. Even though I know a lot of luxury fashion is about you're paying for the brand, blah, blah, blah. But like, to what extent do you want to pay for the brand to wear off the rack blazers that are made with subpar fabrics cost more or the same as Savile Row? Pretty much all of John's old stuff for Dior was 100% wool or silk, as it should be.
Yeah, but
As it
that's
should
just
be.
the standard. That should be the bare minimum.
This YouTube channel runs on your support. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe to my Patreon. You'll gain access to exclusive content that includes everything from my Patreon podcast, where I give a behind the scenes insight into the fashion industry, as well as a fashion book club where I review my favorite fashion books. You can also check out my fashion ebook, which highlights the best fashion journalists to follow, definitions of common fashion terminology, and how to determine what a good source of fashion information is. The links to everything are in the description below.